Most people spend their whole lives chasing money and never understand why they never get ahead. It's not about intelligence. It's not about luck. Some of the smartest, hardest working people stay broke, while others with far less advantage build real wealth. The difference isn't what they know, it's how they think. Wealth isn't built by working harder. It's built by thinking differently, by seeing the world in a way that lets you create value, take smart risks, and act when others hesitate. Today, we're going to break down the psychology of money, why most people stay stuck, what keeps them from taking action, and how to train your mind to create real financial freedom. This isn't about tricks or hacks. It's about understanding how your brain works and how to use it to your advantage. Poverty isn't just about money, it's about mindset. It's about the way your brain interprets opportunity, risk, and possibility. It's the patterns you've internalized since childhood, the invisible habits that keep you getting by instead of building real wealth. Think about how most people are raised. From a young age, we're rewarded for stability and punished for risk. Good grades, obedience, punctuality, conformity, they all get praise. Missteps, mistakes, or taking chances, those get corrected, sometimes harshly. Society teaches survival over growth, compliance over creativity. You're taught to avoid risk, not understand it. Over time, these lessons shape your identity. Subconsciously, you begin to see yourself as someone who just gets by. You may not even realize it, but your brain interprets new opportunities through this lens. Any chance to step outside your comfort zone, a new business idea, an investment, a skill-building opportunity, is immediately filtered as a potential threat. This is a natural response. The human brain evolved to protect you from danger. Anything unfamiliar triggers a stress response, even if that unfamiliar thing is exactly what could change your life. Psychologists call this homeostasis, your nervous system's way of keeping you in balance. It prefers familiarity, even when that familiarity is keeping you poor, because your brain equates comfort with safety. Here's a simple example. Imagine someone tells you about a business idea that could make you $10,000 a month if you invest the next 6 months learning the necessary skills. Logically, you might know this is a good opportunity, but emotionally, your body reacts first. Your stomach tightens. Your mind races with, "What if I fail?" questions. And suddenly, the safe choice feels better than the potentially life-changing choice. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it's supposed to do, protecting you. But in this case, protection equals stagnation. Now let's look at money itself. Most people think about money transactionally. How much do I make? How much do I spend? That's survival thinking. Money is seen as a finite resource that comes in and goes out, never as a reflection of value you create or leverage you can use. You work to earn it, you spend it to survive, you hope you have enough. That mindset reinforces scarcity. It's short-term thinking in a long-term world. Scarcity isn't just a concept, it's a neural pattern. When your brain constantly feels there isn't enough money, opportunity, security, it narrows attention. You start focusing only on immediate survival. You avoid risks that could improve your life because taking those risks feels dangerous, even when the reward is potentially massive. Fear is your brain's most primitive response. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of judgment. These are all natural. They exist to keep you safe from harm. But when it comes to money, these instincts can work against you. Fear keeps you in a job you hate. Fear keeps you from starting a business. Fear keeps you from learning a skill that could make you indispensable. Your body reinforces the idea that inaction equals safety. Your mind interprets comfort as protection and discomfort as danger. Let's bring in another psychological concept: identity. Your brain resists change because it threatens how you see yourself. If your subconscious believes, "I'm someone who just gets by," then taking actions that would make you wealthy triggers internal conflict. Suddenly, going after opportunity feels like betrayal. Staying comfortable feels like loyalty. That's why most people's financial situations remain the same year after year. It's not that they don't want change. It's that their nervous system perceives change as a threat to identity. And society reinforces this. Look around. Most social circles, schools, even families reward stability and criticize risk. Entrepreneurship is glorified in theory but feared in practice. People who take financial risks are often judged as reckless. The mind internalizes this. Every time you consider stepping into wealth creation, your subconscious recalls past warnings. Be careful, don't stand out, play it safe. It's subtle but powerful. This mindset also influences decision-making in small ways that add up over time. Small choices about spending, investing, and saving are filtered through a fear-based lens. You avoid opportunities to invest in yourself because you're worried about failure. You settle for mediocre results because excellence feels risky. You procrastinate on projects that could generate massive long-term value because the short-term discomfort is too uncomfortable. And here's the kicker. This isn't laziness. The brain is doing its job. It's protecting you from perceived danger. But in the modern world, this wiring is often misaligned with reality. The danger isn't physical harm. It's financial growth, uncertainty, and responsibility. Yet your nervous system reacts the same way. You feel stressed thinking about starting a business, taking a leap, or investing in something new. That stress isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal that your brain is being challenged to grow. The first step toward wealth is noticing these patterns. Begin observing yourself without judgment. Ask, when I see a new opportunity, what's my first reaction? Excitement, fear, or hesitation? Pay attention to how your body reacts, because your body is giving you clues about your subconscious beliefs. The second step is small experiments. Change doesn't happen overnight, and trying to leap into a huge risk is a recipe for paralysis. Start with small, manageable actions that push your boundaries just slightly. Invest a small amount in learning a new skill. Launch a micro project that challenges your comfort zone. Gradually, your nervous system recalibrates. You learn that stepping outside comfort doesn't lead to catastrophe. It leads to growth. Finally, recognize that poverty thinking is reinforced by habits. The poor focus on immediate gratification because long-term thinking feels risky. They treat money as an endpoint, not a tool. Breaking this pattern requires rewiring your attention toward creating value that compounds over time, rather than reacting to immediate scarcity. Here's a mental exercise. Imagine money as a signal. Every dollar you earn, every transaction you make, tells you whether you are providing value to others. This shifts focus from fear to agency. Instead of asking, "Can I survive?" you ask, "How can I create value consistently?" This simple shift begins to retrain your mind from scarcity to abundance. It also changes your relationship with mistakes. Most people fear failure because they've internalized scarcity thinking. A loss is catastrophic. But if you see money as feedback, failure becomes data. Every setback shows you what doesn't work, allowing you to grow. The fear of risk diminishes, replaced by curiosity and strategy. In short, the psychology of poverty is about automatic habits. fear-based thinking, and identity limitations. Breaking free requires awareness, gradual exposure to discomfort, and a consistent focus on value creation. Until these patterns are addressed, no strategy, no investment, and no business idea will reach its full potential. The mind must first be willing to expand before opportunities can be realized. This section alone sets the foundation for everything that follows. Understanding why people hesitate, why they fear growth, and why simply working harder never solves the underlying problem. True wealth begins here, inside the mind. Psychologically, taking action requires training the nervous system to tolerate discomfort. The wealthy don't feel less fear. They have learned to act despite it. They've developed what psychologists call stress resilience, the ability to remain calm and effective under uncertainty. When your first instinct is avoidance, the difference between stagnation and progress comes down to your ability to move forward while your body is screaming stop. One practical method is gradual exposure. Start with small, manageable risks that push you slightly outside your comfort zone. If the idea of reaching out to a potential client is terrifying, start by asking questions in forums or making small social connections. Gradually, the nervous system recalibrates. What once felt like danger becomes manageable. The brain learns that action does not equal catastrophe, but instead equals growth. Another method is mental reframing. Reframe every potential risk as information, not threat. Fear doesn't disappear, but its meaning changes. A failed project is no longer a signal to retreat. It's a data point that tells you what works and what doesn't. A lost investment is no longer devastating. It's a lesson in evaluation and strategy. When fear becomes informative rather than paralyzing, you gain clarity and confidence. Motivation alone rarely works here. You can't push through fear for long periods and expect consistency. Motivation is fleeting. Emotion is persistent. Real action comes from systematically training your brain to tolerate uncertainty, to embrace discomfort, and to see delayed rewards as meaningful. This is the invisible work that separates those who stay stagnant from those who build wealth. Let's also consider identity conflict. Your current self-image may resist change. If you think of yourself as someone who struggles financially, then trying to become wealthy triggers internal resistance. Your mind doesn't want to betray its own story. Overcoming this requires consciously choosing a new identity. I am someone who creates value and can grow financially. Once you accept this, your actions start to align with that identity. Finally, consider external distractions. The modern world bombards us with immediate gratification. Social media, entertainment, and endless consumer choices. These are subtle but powerful ways to avoid action. They provide temporary relief and reinforce short-term thinking. Every hour spent scrolling is an hour your brain reinforces habits of comfort over growth. Wealth requires focus, discipline, and deliberate prioritization of meaningful action over fleeting comfort. In essence, the main reason people don't act is emotional, not intellectual. The knowledge is often there. The plan is often clear. But fear, uncertainty, social pressure, perfectionism, and short-term thinking create invisible barriers. The wealthy don't ignore these forces. They learn to navigate them. They act strategically while feeling uncomfortable. They embrace small risks, learn from failure, and tolerate uncertainty. Over time, these repeated actions compound into real results. In conclusion, action is the bridge between potential and reality. Most people don't cross it, not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because their emotional system overrides logic. Learning to act despite fear, delay gratification, and embrace calculated risk is the psychological skill that separates the stagnant from the successful. Without mastering this, no skill, no leverage, and no system will create lasting wealth. This mental shift is often the turning point. It separates people who endlessly chase money without progress from those who build wealth naturally, strategically, and sustainably. Once you see money as feedback for value creation, you start making decisions based on creation, not fear. You stop reacting to scarcity and start acting strategically toward growth. The wealthy don't work harder than you. They think differently. They focus on value, not transactions. They see opportunities instead of risks. They tolerate uncertainty, delay gratification, and invest in compounding skills and systems. Wealth always comes down to three things: skill, leverage, and scale. These aren't abstract concepts. They're the invisible mechanics behind every successful entrepreneur, investor, and creator. Understanding them changes how you act, how you think, and ultimately how much freedom you can create. Skill is the foundation. But this isn't about showing up or being competent. It's about building abilities in high demand, skills that solve problems other people can't or won't. Writing persuasively, building systems, leading teams, creating content that moves people. These are the kinds of skills that attract real wealth. The economy doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards impact. People pay for results, not time spent. Even having a high-value skill isn't enough. Many people are incredibly talented, but never translate it into financial freedom. Skill without leverage keeps you trapped. Trading hours for money. You can only do so much on your own. That's where leverage comes in. Leverage is multiplying your effort, so one action produces many outcomes. It can be technology, systems, money, or people. A consultant who works one-on-one has limited income, but if they create a course teaching the same expertise, 1 hour of work can reach hundreds of people. Leverage turns knowledge into a force that grows beyond your own labor. People resist leverage because it demands patience. You have to build systems, create processes, train others, or develop tools before you see results. The brain wants instant rewards, but leverage rewards patience and foresight. The wealthy tolerate that delay. They understand that building once and letting it multiply is far more powerful than doing the same work repeatedly. Scale takes leverage even further. Scale is making something that works once work over and over for more people, more efficiently, and for longer. Scale turns skill and leverage into exponential growth. A song performed live earns money for a single night, but the same song streamed online generates income worldwide for years. A single system, a single idea, can serve thousands of people while you sleep. That's scale. Scale is also a mindset. It's about repeating what works, refining it, and removing what doesn't. Wealthy people don't reinvent the wheel. They replicate success, then expand it. One product, one system, one skill can be leveraged and scaled endlessly. And while all this sounds mechanical, it's also deeply psychological. You need emotional regulation to tolerate uncertainty, patience to delay reward, and courage to embrace failure as feedback. Without these, skill, leverage, and scale are wasted potential. But if you apply them with discipline, your ability to create wealth becomes inevitable.